The Love, Life, and Lose Weight podcast will teach you the art and science of changing your habits around food. If you know what to do, but can't figure out why you're just not doing it, this is the right podcast for you. I'm your host, Advanced Certified Weight and Life Coach, Heather Beardsley. I've helped hundreds of women just like you figure out how to think and eat like a normal eater, lose weight, and love life on the journey to goal weight and beyond. Welcome to episode 75. This episode, I'm very excited to tell you, is all about my new planning system. It's a digital planner called the Follow Through Planner, and it's available now for you to use it. So, this episode, I want to talk about what it is, what exactly it is, who it's best for, who can use it, and how you can get your 15% off if you want to try it. So, if you've ever struggled with staying consistent on your weight loss goals, the follow through planner is probably something you should consider using. If you're not already working with me for a high level of support, using this planner that I created for my clients as a whole system to apply how I teach sustainable weight loss, you could just use the planner without needing to work with me. And that might just be the extra level of support that you need. In any case, it's a low stakes way to see if all you need is to just have everything all in one place and have a system to help you be consistent and look at your data so that you can see really quickly what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I do think that it's important to remember the past version of you in January. Maybe you set a weight goal or a body composition goal that felt hopeful and exciting. And, here we are in March, and I just want you to look at what you've been able to achieve. Look at the numbers. Do you feel confident? Do you know what works? Right? Are you sure about what your weak points are in your system? Do you even have a system, or is your system sort of on again, off again? Um, Systems are the daily habits, the routines, and the tools that help you reach a goal. It's like a guardrail, it keeps you on track no matter what. And for weight loss, you have to have a system because with weight loss, those things that help you lose weight are never going to feel like a priority. Because, if the sink is leaking and you need to call the plumber or your kid is sick at school, those things are always going to take priority. And remembering to prioritize weight loss things like making a plan, weighing in, tracking your data is never going to feel like a priority if you don't have a system underneath helping you to create the habit of turning to your system each day, each week, each month, and each season. So that's why I created this digital planner. Um, it's the system that helps you to stay focused on a daily basis, plus weekly, monthly, and seasonally, so that you have a really fast feedback loop about what works and what doesn't. And you can tweak and test and run your weight goal experiments each week in an easy way because you don't have to figure out what to do. Everything is inside the digital planner, the follow through planner. Okay. So you need a simple, supportive, automatic system that you can open up and just take a few minutes to go through what I created for you to support you and all of these things. And if that sounds like, okay, all I have to do is get this digital planner. Of course, you need to be a digital planner. And if you don't have those things like a tablet, an iPad, if you don't use GoodNotes, then, and you're interested in it, and I really encourage you to make the switch to digital planning because it is the most powerful tool for any kind of sustainable, permanent change. If you want to change any habits, you need to be having a way to be intentional consistently and have a system to support you. So, what my system is, like if you just take me as an example, every morning that I get up, when I have my coffee, I open up my iPad, I go into Good Notes, and I use this planner. I've had the version one of this planner for a couple of years. And over the course of a couple of years, what I started to do is I just started to kind of think about, like, okay, well, how could I create my own planner and like incorporate how I teach weight loss each day, what I want my clients to do? How could I create simple daily plans and reviews for them? How could I create simple daily, weekly plans and reviews for them that take into consideration how I teach weight loss? So, in other words, tracking overeats, tracking what percentage full you are eating to. How are you weighing in? How are you looking at your numbers? How are you tracking the most important data, like your movement, your water, your sleep, things like that? And I just know, I knew that if I could create the supportive system for my clients, it would help them so much, because a lot of times they might have like my daily planning sheet over here and they don't know where they put the weekly one. And wait, what about the seasonal one? And where's that other data? Like, where did they put it? Because these things are like all over the place. So I wanted to have one comprehensive place where everything is the tap of a pencil, a digital pencil away. So I created it for you. I worked with a designer. I started doing mock ups of the different uh, aspects of the planner way back in October of 2024. And I was just messing around and thinking, like, how could I do this? And I riffed off of worksheets that I had already created for my private coaching clients. And I thought that I would just learn how to do digital planning myself and design the whole thing myself. And then it quickly became apparent to me that number one, I needed to create a planner that encompassed an entire year, because sustainable changes we know, just to like establish a new habit takes many weeks, at least 3 weeks. And that's just to like plant the first seeds of a habit. And for many of my clients, they need to lose, or they want to lose, probably 20 pounds of fat. And maybe they also want to build 10 pounds of muscle, 10 pounds of muscle. And that's going to take a good amount of time. And, if consistency is king, then I needed to create like year-long planners. So then I had a conundrum, right? Like, number one, I knew I couldn't create the whole year-long planner myself. That's a lot of links, that's a lot of designing, that's a lot of like hooking things all up. And I don't have the bandwidth to do it. So I had to find the right designer to help me bring my vision to life. And I did that all through the new year. And we've just, finished finalizing the design in February. And then, final files were completed in March. So I was in a little bit of a conundrum because, we're already 3 months into the new year. So how am I going to do this? So what we did was we created one spring seasonal planner, which is going to start today, April 1st, and it's going to go all the way through the last day of June, which encompasses pretty much the spring season. And that will get us through to July and the big academic year planner. So we've got one spring seasonal planner coming out, like the first version of the planner available for you to use now. And then I already have ready the academic year planner, which will take you from July of this year through June of 2026. I mean, I know that a lot of you like to plan in an academic year, and I certainly didn't want to make you wait until the new year of 2026 for like a year-long planner. So how it's going to roll out is You grab your spring planner now. You can also purchase the academic year planner with that together if you want to, or you can just come back when June is ending and get your academic year planner then. Either way, it's fine. They're both ready to go. And then from there will be a new planner that comes out with the new year of 2026, and then a new academic year planner coming out in July of 2026. So there'll be two planners coming out each year, one at the new year and one in July. So no matter when you like to plan, there will be a planner available for you. So that's the details about that. Okay, so next, what I want to tell you is what's inside of the planner. So there's key sections at the top, and then the months that the planner encompasses are tabs over on the right-hand side. There's also, so let me start with the top section. The top section of the planner, first of all, there's 6 customizable sections that you can add anything to. Like, let's say you have a workout regime, or you have a vision board, or maybe you have recipes you like to keep, or maybe you just want to do a bunch of journaling on a certain topic. Well, you can customize each one of these 6 sections by adding anything to them. So that's nice that you can do that. Maybe you have like year-long goals that you're in the middle of working toward. You can just bring those over into any of those custom sections. Then across the top, I have an index for you where you can find all of the sections of the planner from. There's a start section, which gives you specific instructions for how to use the planner. And then there's my program section. So my program for how to sustainably lose weight without restriction, I call it integrative weight management. And this program section breaks down for you in just a few pages exactly how I teach weight loss. So you get everything. You get a break. There's no videos to watch. There's no transcripts. Like, you just read the program basics. It's not hard. It's not complicated. And then there's a place for you to work through each one of those different documents and sort of reflect on how you're going to apply it to you. And then I have a tools section where I include some of the specific tools that I've created. Like, I have a section where you can create your ideal weekly workouts or movement for your, Monday through Sunday. There's a travel protocol. There's ideal morning and evening routines. There is instructions for how for you to use your time and your tasks on a weekly basis, how to prioritize those things. There's I show you how to do weekly meal planning, in a modern way, where you look at the food you already have. Then you figure out what you want to make. Then you figure out what store you're shopping at. Are you ordering? Are you having it delivered? Are you shopping? What day are you going to do that? And then once you've shopped from that ingredients list that you need to pick up, your shopping list, then there's a section for like, when are you going to prep your food? So you see, like, I take you through all of these decisions that need to be made, and all you have to do is just fill in the blanks. Like, there's really no thinking involved in a lot of this logistical stuff. It just helps you make a lot of decisions, and it takes you through that process so you can be organized each week with your time, and you can prioritize your tasks. And then there's another worksheet that helps you understand, if you do overeat, why you're overeating, so that you can better understand the reasons why. Okay. So then there's also a yearly section, and the yearly section has cool, like, yearly things like, your vacations and times off, tracker. I've got like measurements and body composition trackers for the year, and things like that. Okay. So that's kind of like the content sections of the planner. And on the right-hand side, then when you click into the months of the year, so for example, the spring planner will have April, May, and June, like I mentioned. And when you click on the April tab, what you see is a seasonal plan and review, because remember, we're at the beginning of spring, right? The equinox has just happened a couple of weeks ago. And I want you thinking about spring. What do you want to accomplish in the 12 weeks of this season? What have you accomplished in the previous 12 weeks of winter? So you're going to reflect on the previous season. I did one of these seasonal reviews for you in the last podcast. So in the planner, you've got your worksheet to do all of this seasonal planning that I do on the podcast right inside of your planner. Then you have a monthly calendar, which has easy links to all the dates in April. You also have a monthly plan and a monthly review for the month of April. This is where you're going to lay out your goals for, say, you want to lose fat and you want to maintain your muscle weight, or maybe you want to maintain your weight and you want to gain muscle. Whatever that is, in my program section, I walk you through the process of how you set goals based on where you're at right now. So you'll just take that information and you bring it over into your monthly plan and review. So this serves as like a high level overview of what you're doing this particular month. I also have a seasonal tracker for you to track seasonal changes in your measurements and or your body composition if you're using that in-body scale. And I have more about that inside the program section. And then you have your weeks in April. There's 4 weeks in April. You have a weekly plan and review for each of the weeks. You have a weekly time and tasks planner so that you can get all of your tasks and your time attended to for that week. And then you have your meal plans for each of those weeks. And then, of course, one plan and review day for each of your days. And this helps you plan the 3 most important personal, 3 most important professional, and the most important things in terms of self-care and or movement that you're doing for yourself that day. It gives you a schedule where you get to schedule some of those things in your day that you worked out in your time and tasks planning worksheet. And you also get a place to either log the food that you ate or make a plan ahead of time, whatever works best for you. And then it also provides a place for you to cumulatively track your overeats, which is something I talk a lot about. It also helps you track what percentage to full you've eaten to for each of your meals. So all of this data is right there for you to see. It's very helpful. It's an extremely comprehensive system that will help you to see weak links in how you are engaging with your habits around food, your habits around your time, your habits around your movement, all of those things. So I just encourage you to take action and at least grab the seasonal planner, right? It's going to be the most inexpensive planner because it's just one season instead of an entire year. So it's a great way for you to get your feet wet, get access to my basic program and just see if like a more supportive structure, like system for how you want to reach your weight goals can really help you. I'm including a 15% off launch discounts. And you need to be an email subscriber in order to grab that discount. To learn more about the planner and see snapshots and screenshots of what I'm describing here today, you just go over to my website. It's hbeardsley.com/planner. That's HBEARDSLEY.com/planner. And you'll see all the information there about your different options if you want to grab the seasonal one plus the academic year one, or you just want to grab the seasonal one. It's totally up to you. And you can also let me know how you like it by visiting me on Instagram at Thrive in Midlife is my handle. And let me know how you find it. I really hope that I have helped you with some of the missing pieces, like just logistically, for you to put the art and science of habit change around food to the test. I didn't mention, but there is daily journaling in there that you can do as well, as much or as little as you want to, which is the beautiful part about digital planning is that you can duplicate pages as much as you want. You've got hyperlinks all over the place to find all of the different worksheets and tools that I give you. And it's all right there at the tip of your digital pen. So maybe you're wondering about whether or not this is right for you. Like maybe you bought a digital planner before and you've just never used them. Well, planners out there in the world are very rarely reflective of a particular program or a particular purpose. Like maybe, there's goals, like a goals planner that helps you kind of take action on some goals and stuff. And this is within that vein, but this is specifically like my specific weight loss program. It's the system that allows you to apply these concepts. So, I promise you this, if you just commit to 2 weeks of using it, you'll see that there's not a lot of extra for you to do, although you can do more, but it's constrained to the very basics of each day. What do I have to do in my life with the time that I have? And then how am I going to work in being intentional around my food and my human needs today? Like, am I tired? Did I sleep well? There's a section for you to fill out each day. Like, how much sleep did you get? What was the quality of your sleep? How many overeats do you have so far? Like, how helpful will it be to know, like, if you weigh in on Friday, Thursday morning when you wake up and you're bleary eyed, maybe you didn't get good sleep. In like 3 minutes, just going through the daily page on the follow through planner, you will know and have a good snapshot at like what your capacity is for this day. What are the things you have to do? I use it every day right now, and I can tell you very little escapes me. Like all my shit is organized in there. I know exactly what I need to do. And I also know like there's limitations on my time. I don't over jam my day because I know how much I can get done in the time that I have. So, when you're just making lists of things to do, it can get really out of hand really quick because the brain's just like, write this and write that and write this and write that. Well, without a time constraint on the things to do, now your brain is overwhelmed. You have 12 things to do and you have no idea when you're going to be doing them. The follow through planner forces you to give a time slot to each of the things you ask yourself to do in your life, not just with your weight goals, right? Or your movement goals, whatever they might be. So I do think that it will be hard not to use it because the value of using it is so compelling and it's so easy to fill things out that it takes no time at all. And then you have like this master plan in your head about like what your day looks like. And who doesn't want that every day? The price is so much cheaper than if I had created a paper planner. I know there's some of you who are really married to like paper and pen planners, but with what's happening in our economy and in our trade with the world, especially China, which is where most paper planners are made, I just really don't think I want to be dealing with those kinds of variables, including tariffs, taxes, and all of that stuff. Um, digital planners go with you everywhere you go, as long as you take your iPad, right? And even if you don't, you can use GoodNotes or whatever digital markup app you use for digital planning. Usually it's on more than one device, and you can at least access the information there. It is the future. And if you've been waiting to make the switch to digital planning, maybe this is your sign because the future is calling. This is the wave of the future. I'm not saying there isn't a place for paper and pen writing. I do think it imparts utilization of parts of your brain that don't always get, when you feel your pen writing on actual paper, yeah, that really can be a process that is extremely useful. But I don't think it's practical on a day-to-day basis to think you're going to be writing on paper. I mean, what happens when you go traveling? What happens when you go on vacation? What happens when you go on the plane and it doesn't fit in your suitcase? Well, if that's your whole connection to your system that helps you lose weight, your system is fragile and it will break. Digital planning helps make everything be accessible and consistent all the time. And then the other thing, like that you might wonder about is like, I just don't know if this is going to work for me. And I'm just want to offer you that asking yourself a question that makes you feel doubtful and asking it isn't really a helpful question. I think the more helpful question is, how can this planner help work for me in a way that I haven't been able to have things work for me before? Even if you are getting results, right? And you're using different worksheets and you've got to cobble things together and maybe you've created something like individual. Well, try it. Maybe this is the upgrade that you've been waiting for. And if it's not, if you get the seasonal one, the spring one for 2025 and it's not for you, it's not a big deal because it's a low price point. I know that there are some paper planners out there, a well-known one that is sold only by quarter and it's $44. So you've got to buy that 4 times every single year in order to be consistent using it. I mean, I just think asking somebody to buy something 4 times a year and throwing it away 4 times a year or having it stack up 4 of them per year is probably not the best use of resources or time or things like that. My goal is that you buy one digital planner each year and then you just stop using resources that you don't need to use. You just stick with it. You just really spend your time, your resources, and your focus following through, making your intentions known each day, making a plan each day, and then following through with what those plans are and reviewing each day. And just imagine like using the follow through planner, being somebody who knows, hey, I make a plan every day. It may not be a detailed plan, but I get my intentions down there. And each day I just take a look and I review, how did I do? Can you imagine at the end of a year how differently you'll see yourself as somebody who is intentional with their life, who is actualizing and really spending time working on the goals that are important to them? I mean, I think that there's very few things in life that give us such a sense of meaning in our life where we are creating for ourselves the life that we really want because we put it down and make it like known to ourselves each and every day. There's something about that that is really magical. I've been planning like this since I finished life coach school, and that was in 2020. And since then, I've created a new career for myself. I've coached over 10,000 hours of one on one coaching with women on weight goals. I've helped them lose thousands and thousands of pounds. I've lost weight. I reversed my diabetes, my fatty liver. I got divorced. I got remarried. I started my own business. I wrote a book. I started a podcast. And now I've just created a planner. I mean, and the only way that I could do all of that is by utilizing the power of planning every day. I'm telling you, this stuff has the power to help you create whatever it is you want in your life. But if it has to do with weight or body composition goals, this planner is really going to help you know exactly what works and just to do more of it. So I'm really excited for you to try the follow through planner. So visit hbeardsley.com/planner. And I really hope you get yours today. And I'm going to make a special offer on that page as well for some open coaching that I'm going to make available to anybody who buys the planner. You'll get an invitation to just go through probably the seasonal planning and review. So you'll get one when you purchase the spring 2025 planner. We'll do a seasonal plan and review at the end of June, like right around the summer solstice. And that'll be fun to do. And so I'm available to you that way. And I'll do the same thing for the academic year planner. We'll have 4 seasonal plans and reviews that you can join me with, and I can coach some of you and we can do some troubleshooting or just talk about how your weight goals are coming along. And that way we can stay connected. Even if you don't work one-on-one with me, this is another lighter touch way for you to stay in touch with my coaching methods. And I hope it really is helpful for you. It's a passion project that I really hope that you enjoy. And I look forward to creating many, many for you in the future. Okay. So we'll talk soon. I'll talk to you over on Instagram. Stay focused and so long. Hey, if this episode resonated for you, then let's connect. Visit hbeardsley.com/subscribe. That's hbeardsley.com/subscribe and get on the list. You'll get a free gift, periodic coaching, plus advance notice of in-person events and workshops.